Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. So I am doing a twin flame soulmate reading, and I've given this disclaimer before in the past, but I wanted to give it again. When it comes to these types of readings, the last thing I ever want to do is to keep you stuck or keep you attached to a person who does not deserve you and a person who is harming you. And so I always say at the beginning of these readings that if you have that type of dynamic with someone, regardless of what their title is, I encourage you to not watch tarot readings about them because it can keep you stuck. It can keep a very strong energetic cord. Whenever you're thinking about someone very strongly and there's emotion behind it, it creates a very strong energetic tie to the person. And the last thing that I want is for you to be stuck and drained and feeling sad, feeling inadequate due to this person and due to, one of my readings causing you to think about this person. You see what I'm saying? So if you do feel like you have that type of tie, please just take a break from tarot. And kind of refrain from watching, these types of videos. And if you are just looking for guidance overall, that's fine. But if you find that it's becoming sort of an addictive pattern, then just try to take a break. Because like I said, the last thing I want to do is to cause any type of harm or pain to any of my subscribers, through my readings and keeping them stuck and attached to a bad situation. So with that disclaimer being said, let's jump into it. I already pulled cards and I already laid out your spread. The top is going to be your energy and then the bottom is going to be theirs. But this could actually be vice versa. So just try to figure out which side is yours as you hear the reading. And I'll also be doing an extended reading as well. So I'll leave the link to that in the description box. So it'll be down there when you're done with this reading. So first I want to get into the energy that is between you, like the energy that's connecting you two, and that is the Queen of Cups in the reverse. So oddly enough, there is some codependency that is present here, and that's not really shocking to me. With soulmates and twin flames, usually there is a level of codependency that is needing to be healed, and this person will basically bring that out of you, or they will trigger that in you. But usually the other person also has some form of codependency. So you may feel like you have a codependent attachment to them, and they might have their own vices. Like they may have something that they are codependently attached to. Like maybe they are codependently attached to the need for validation, and so they go seek it from other people. Maybe they're codependently attached to maybe their work. Like maybe if they are like a workaholic and they make a lot of money, maybe that's where their sense of self-worth comes from. You see what I'm saying? So both of you have some sort of codependency that is needing to be worked through, but it could just be coming from different sources. And I'm seeing the Two of Wands as well, so that lets me know that this codependency has been blocking a lot of blessings in both of your lives. It's been blocking your connection with each other, first of all, but also just in your lives separately outside of your connection. It's definitely been causing a major blockage. It's hard to expand. It's hard to grow and evolve as a human being when you are codependently tied to something, because when you have that tie, it ultimately controls your life. Like if you have a codependent tie to a person and you feel like you need them to validate you, you tend to fixate on that person. You see what I'm saying? And while you're fixating on them, life is like passing you by. Opportunities are passing you by. So any type of codependent attachments tend to cause obsession and fixation to the point where you can't live your life to the fullest. You can't live your best life. So it's a blessing to come across these connections that reveal those patterns, because ultimately those patterns are what was hurting you and hindering you from living a full, successful, healthy life. So that's the energy that is kind of between you two that you have in common. So let's go to your row now. Your first card is the Queen of Wands in reverse. Okay, so some of you are very angry, very emotional with the Queen of Wands being in the reverse. I feel like there's some pent up anger, or there's something inside of you that needs to be released. And for some of you, you don't know how to release it, or you're having a hard time releasing it. I know that I got a reading recently that was speaking, or that how do I put this? I had a reading recently that basically talk to me about my anger issues and the anger that's going on inside of me that I need to release. And the medium told me that I may need to go and just break something or do something to release that pent up anger, because this anger is not just from this person and what they've, done, but this anger can ultimately be from other people, like just throughout your life. Sometimes we store anger in our hearts because of the injustice, because of the mistreatment, and it just builds up and carries with us over time. And then we meet this person, this soulmate or twin flame, and they do something that really triggers, those wounds, and we feel all this anger towards them. And really, I mean, the anger towards them is valid, but also it's an accumulation of the anger. It's an accumulation of all the things that have been done to us, the ways that we have been harmed, the ways that we've been made to feel like we were worthless, the ways that our power has been taken from us. This card, I'm kind of getting the energy of being bullied. So whether it be like you being bullied at home, being bullied at school, that causes a lot of anger, because that causes a lot of shame and feelings of worthlessness and powerlessness. And we sometimes store that as anger. And so that's what I'm seeing here. A lot of anger could be coming to the surface that needs to be released in some way. So it's a lot of ways you can transmute anger: punching pillows, working out, punching a punching bag. I saw recently on a show, I don't know if you watched this reality show called Black Ink Crew. There's a woman on there, an Asian woman, that was abused by her father. And, they, after she confronted her father and he still didn't apologize, she just had all this anger sitting inside of her. And so her coworker basically set up a day where they could just throw paint at a wall. Like, he called it like unleashing your anger through art. And so they just took like buckets of paint and just threw it at the wall, like, to release the aggression. And I know before that, she also did another activity where she basically had this doll, this huge like dummy, and I guess pretended it was her father, and she just like beat the hell out of it with a bat. And that is also a way of releasing, because that anger needs to be moved. It needs to be moved outside of your body in some way, shape, or form. So yeah, if you are feeling anger towards this person, there may be a need for you to examine the root of that anger in order for it to be released. I'm hearing like irritation as well. So you could be feeling just really irritated or have a very short temper. And again, that's a result of pent up animosity that's just coming out over time. So the next card out is the Wheel of Fortune card. This is your blockage. So I got some heavy energy from this card. From this card, I'm basically feeling like you feel as though all the good things in life are not accessible to you. It almost feels like every time you get close to having the things that you want out of life, they get taken from you. And I feel like you are really pondering this very, very, very deeply. Like, you're really starting to sit and think, what is it that I'm doing? Or why is it that I cannot find good luck or good fortune? Why is it that things keep going wrong? Why has my life pretty much been like this? It almost feels like it's been planted in your mind that good things are not meant for you, or that no matter how hard you try, anything good is just going to be taken from you, to the point where you may feel like maybe I should just stop trying, which of course you should not stop trying, but I do see why you would feel this way. And you're pondering this very deeply, which is a great thing, because that's the first step towards creating the life for yourself that you want, and healing is really going deep and really pondering life, pondering your life, reflecting on your life, reflecting on your decisions, reflecting on the people who you allow into your life, some of the people you didn't allow into your life, but that you were just forced to be around, like family, even pondering that, reading about generational curses, reading about different forms of healing. Just really, I'm seeing like a lot of deep research being done here, which is a great thing. But also with that research and that pondering needs action. Like, there's action that needs to be taken as well. So there's a difference between reading about different healing methods and actually doing them. You see what I'm saying? So that might be one of the keys to you unlocking, this new stage in your life, is the action behind it. It's like you've theorized it enough. You've read enough about it. Well, there's always more to learn. But I feel like the action is what's going to really help you to unlock this next stage of your life. Because believe it or not, you're not cursed. Some of you feel like you genuinely are cursed with the way that things have been going, but you're not. Everything that you're experiencing, it's not because you're necessarily cursed. It's more so that what you're meant to do in this lifetime, how do I put this? I don't want to scare anyone, because I don't like to involve like, oh, there's demonic entities or devils or whatever. But I am seeing like very low vibrational entities that constantly try to knock you off of your path. It's clear that you're doing something very important here in this lifetime. You know, healing yourself, healing other people. You know, you're doing something important in this lifetime, and there are lower vibrational entities that don't really like that. And when I say lower vibrational entities, you don't have to look at it as like demons. You can look at it as people who see you wanting to do better, people who see you wanting to elevate, and they want to knock you off course and they want to drag you back. And as you do more healing work, you'll be able to see these people for who they are, and you won't allow them into your space, and you also won't allow them to knock you down. You see? So it looks like the work is needing to be done outside of the research. So next we have the Nine of Cups here in the reverse. So with the Nine of Cups being here, this is your advice. This is a need for you to really figure out what it is that will make you genuinely happy within yourself. I just feel like the things that you think will make you happy actually will not make you happy. And that might sound odd, but if you're disconnected from yourself, meaning that maybe you've been abused or maybe you have just been mistreated, it causes a disconnect between you and your heart space. It causes a disconnect between you and your true identity, because you're seeing yourself through the eyes of other people, through the people who have harmed you, you see? So it's like when you reconnect with your heart space, when you reconnect with who you are, then you can see what it is that you want and not what it is you think that you want. Some of us may think, I want to get married one day. And then when we reconnect with ourselves, we realize, no, actually, I never wanted to get married. That desire was just a desire to have a permanent connection in my life, because I've never had a permanent connection. Everybody's so temporary and unreliable. In my mind, I may have wanted to get married just because I want that stability, but it doesn't really mean I wanted to get married. You see what I'm saying? And that's just an example of how when we're disconnected from ourselves, we can think we want one thing when in reality we want another thing, but we've been going about it the wrong way. See what I'm saying? I've given this example before about fame, like some people who just they think they want to be famous, but in reality, what they want is love and acceptance. So that's what I mean by getting back in touch with who you are, getting in touch with yourself, and getting in touch with your true heart's desires. Because some of the things that you think that you want, you don't. You may not even want this person. I'm not even gonna lie. Soulmate twin flame. You may not even want them once you get in touch with your inner being. And I'm not saying that that's guaranteed that you won't want them. I'm not saying that. It's gonna be different for different people, but you may not even want them. That's what I'm seeing. So let's go down to their row. So we have the Six of Cups in the reverse. Okay, I've just heard another message. For some of you, it's that you may not even want them. You may discover that you still want them, but you don't need them. Put it that way. Yeah, for some of you, you'll discover that you don't want them. For some of you, you'll discover that you do want them, but you no longer feel like you need them. There we go. Now, moving on to their row, we have the Six of Cups in the reverse. All right, so this person's overall energy is that they are very, I'm hearing the word disturbed. They're disturbed by the past. And not just the past with you two in this lifetime. If you have past lives with this person, they're disturbed by the past lives that you've had together. I feel like whatever you have been through with this person, it seems as though they are feeling the past life wounds more heavily at this time. Let me figure out how to explain this, because I feel like I don't want to lose any of you with this, because the messages are getting confusing even to me. If there was any pain or hurt that was caused in a past life, it's like they're feeling that times 10 right now from whatever it is that you're going through. So for example, if you got a divorce in the past life and in this lifetime you've just broken up, they'll feel this breakup a million times worse, because it's the pain of the past life divorce on top of the pain of breaking up in this lifetime. See what I'm saying? They're feeling it heavily, even if they're not a very spiritually in tune person or someone who believes in those sort of things. They won't know that this is occurring, but it's occurring. I feel like a lot of them also feel like you are pissed at them, which you might be. And they're thinking about everything that has happened, everything that has gone wrong that has caused you to feel this way. So there is, reflection. I feel like they have a bit of anger too. Like maybe they feel like you've done some things to them. But I feel like for the most part, you're more angry than they are. And they are reflecting on what it is they have done. And the ways that they have just kind of ruined their own lives, not just with you, but just in general. Throughout their lives, they've just done things that they're not necessarily proud of. They've done things when they've done things at times where they were disconnected from their heart, and so they weren't operating from a space of integrity and empathy, and they feel some shame for that. Is what I'm seeing. So next we have the Five of Rods. So with the Five of Rods being here, sorry, I had to pause for a second. With the Five of Rods being here, I'm feeling like their blockage is conflict. I don't know if it's conflict between you and them. Yeah, it's between you and them. It's conflict between you and them, but it's also other areas in their life that they feel very conflicted about, and they feel like they are fighting through a lot of obstacles right now. So the same way you're feeling like, why is it that things just can't work out for me? Why can't I have great things? They're feeling the same exact way. They feel like it's always a struggle, and I feel like they are a bit drained and a bit tired of the constant struggle, is what I'm seeing. So yeah, very similar energy. It looks like you guys could be mirroring each other. With the advice card for them, we have the 10 of Rods, and then this is clarifying the Nine of Cups. So with the 10 of Rods being here, they're being asked to put down their burdens. The things that are plaguing them, they need to put them down. And I feel like this is not like they need to drop certain people. It could be that, but I feel like more so they're getting in their own way. It's certain defense mechanisms they use, or certain like self-sabotaging things that they do that they need to just stop doing and let those things go, because they are what's causing their own problems, is what I'm seeing. Yeah, it's like these burdens that they carry with them from the past, and it continues to sabotage their present, and they're being asked to let that go. There's also obstacles or things in their day-to-day life that can be cut off or cut out, and they're not cutting it out. Almost like they're like a glutton for punishment, almost like, do you enjoy hurting yourself, sort of thing is what I'm hearing. Like, there's certain things that they need to just cut out. Like, for example, this could be as simple as like they have a sweet tooth, and they love sugar a lot, but sugar is causing them to break out, or sugar is making their health, or making it so that they're not as healthy as they could be. Sugar is something they can cut out. That's what I mean. It's like things like that, things that are actually in their control. It's almost like they're not taking the initiative to control it and to cut it out, and they're being asked to do so. It'll make their life a million times easier if they could just learn to cut off the small things that is plaguing them or weighing them down. Then they'll be able to then tackle the big problems that they have. You see what I'm saying? So that is their advice. So we're going to finish this in the extended, because this reading is going on way too long. I hope that it was helpful. I will leave the link to the extended down below. We'll dive more into your energy, more into this person's energy. So yeah, I will see you guys over on the extended video.